minutes past 4 p.m. in Japan Standard Time, but we'll be waiting for another several minutes to start. But meanwhile, please make sure to put your microphone muted because today we are not doing this by webinar format, but this is a regular WebEx format. So if you keep your microphone on, everyone can hear you. So please put your microphone muted. Aida, can you hear me? Would you please be able to speak up? Shinya-san, please come in to help.
Good afternoon.
Yes, we can hear you. Super. We can hear you now. Super. 4時を今少し過ぎていますけれども、ちょっとまだ技術的な確認が進んでいるので、もう少々お待ちいただければと思います。Seriously.
Hi, Louisa.
Hello, is this Mayatre? I recognize the voice, but I can't see you. Or is it Lani?
It's me, Louisa. Yeah, you recognize the right voice.
Yes, okay, nice to see you after a long time, Mayatre. Okay.
No.
深夜さん、これもう進めて大丈夫ですかね。
はい、大丈夫です。お願いします。
はい、ありがとうございます。では、4時3分になりましたので、ただいまから本日の JSDF ダイアログ、あるいは JSDF セミナーをスタートしたいと思います。私は世界銀行東京事務所で広報、それから NGO の皆さんとの連携構築も担当しております、大森光一と申します。よろしくお願いいたします。始まる中身に入る前にいくつかハウスキーピングがございます。今日は同時通訳を入れてあります。で、オンラインでご参加いただいている方は、画面の下の左の方に地球儀のようなマークがあると思いますが、それをクリックしていただくと、英語あるいは日本語を選ぶことができます。ちょっとここだけ英語でやります。Thank you very much. Welcome to join the World Bank's JSDF seminar. My name is Koichi Omori. I am Senior External Affairs Officer of the World Bank based in Tokyo. Before starting the real content of the seminar itself, let me make several housekeeping announcements. First of all, we are offering a simultaneous interpretation in Japanese and in English. For those of you who are joining virtually, on the WebEx screen, on the bottom left side, you see a little Earth look like logo. Looks like a World Bank logo, by the way, but the Earth look like logo. Please click on it, and then you can make a selection of the language, either Japanese or English. So please take advantage of that. またちょっと日本語に Let me get back to my Japanese language. で同時通訳をぜひご活用いただきたいと思います。で次です。今日は通常のウェビナーではなくて、いつもやっているウェビナーのフォーマットではなくて、普通の WebEx でやっています。ですので、今つながっている皆さんはもうそのまま画面に出てきますし、皆さんのマイクがオンになっていると声が聞こえてしまいます。ですので、ご発言のないとき、通常はマイクを必ずミュートにしていただきたいというふうに思います。それが2点目です。で3点目ですけれども、ぜひ事前に何人かの方からすでに質問をいただいているんですが、ぜひ皆さんからどしどしと質問、コメントを出していただきたいと思います。で、画面のWebEx で参加していただいている方は、画面の右下にですね、一番右ですね、にクリックするところがあって、これがチャットですね。でここに英語で書いていただいても、それから日本語で書いていただいても結構です。今日同時通訳ですので、日本語で書いていただいた質問は日本語で読み上げますので、私の方で、ここにチャットで書いていただいても結構です。あるいは 通常の WebEx ですから、普通に、カメラオン、マイクオンで、質疑応答の時に、直接ご発言いただいても結構です。で、その場合も、英語でも結構ですし、日本語でも結構です。ので、どちらの言語でも、どうぞご自由に質疑応答の時間にはご発言をいただきたいと思います。それから、この後、プレゼンテーションで使われるパワーポイントですけれども、今日のセミナーのアナウンスメントのところにですね、すでに間もなく出ると思いますけれど、PDF で掲載をいたしますので、どうぞダウンロードしてご活用いただければというふうに思います。以上がハウスキーピングアナウンスメントでございました。ではここから中身に入りたいと思います。今日の世界銀行セミナー日本社会開発基金の支援によるプロジェクトを紹介するシリーズの一環で、キルギス共和国ユースのための生計 L4Y コミュニティ支援プロジェクト、日本社会開発基金 JSDF によるプロジェクト事例ということで、最大90分の時間を確保しているんですけれども、これから進めてまいりたいと思います。で、まず最初にですね、世界銀行側からウェルカムリマークスということで、世界銀行の信託基金を担当する局長です。マイトレ・ダス局長から皆様に一言ご挨拶を申し上げたいと思います。
Thank you so much, Kuichi. Let me welcome you all this afternoon, this evening, wherever you are joining from, or morning. I realize that some of you are in Bangkok, others may be in Kyrgyzstan, in the Kyrgyz Republic. So welcome to everybody. I would in particular like to welcome our Deputy Director from the Ministry of Finance, Mr. Shin Yamamoto, and to say that it is this is a long-standing partnership between the World Bank and the Ministry of Finance. The Japan Social Development Fund was started in the year 2000 at a time when the world was really reeling from multiple crises, much the same way as now, but different. And the idea at the time was to have a fund that could really focus on the needs of the poorest and the most vulnerable communities, because they were the ones that were most hit by the crises that were occurring at the time. Since then, the Japan Social Development Fund has had many different innovations. It has affected the lives of hundreds and thousands of communities and of people in various parts of the world where World Bank is active. And I myself have been a beneficiary of the Japan Social Development Fund when I was a task manager in Bangladesh, while working on Bangladesh many years ago. And so I realize very well the impact that it can have on the ground. So today, we're actually very fortunate to hear from our team from the Kyrgyz Republic. And this is actually a very innovative project. The whole project, CASA 1000, is a multi-country project, and it is a multi-country project on renewable energy. And what it does on the side as not necessarily, and maybe I'm putting words into your mouth, Louisa, it was intended as a benefit sharing measure at the time. And then it became very much of a project in and of itself that is targeted towards rural communities that are affected by the pipeline. And so in itself, CASA 1000 is very innovative because it is a multi-country program. It is a program that also is on renewable energy, has significant climate implications, positive climate implications. But the real innovation here, to my mind, where we are speaking from, is the impact on communities and allaying some of the likely negative impacts that could occur in a large infrastructure project. And so really bringing communities and their voices into the picture. We are very fortunate today to hear from the team. And so I will first request you, Yamamoto-san, to say a few words, and then perhaps, Koichi, we could go and we could maybe introduce our team over here. So I don't want to stand between you, Yamamoto-san, and the team, so let me hand it to you.
Thank you very much, Maizue. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Shin Yamamoto, Deputy Director of Multilateral Development Banks Division, International Finance Bureau, Ministry of Finance. I'm pleased to welcome all of you who attend this JSDF seminar from private sector, NGOs, universities, and so on. It is my great honor to have opening remarks here. First of all, I would like to thank the JSDF team for preparation and the World Bank Tokyo office for their support in organizing the hybrid seminar. JSDF was established, as Maitreyi explained, in 2000, and more than 20 years has been passed since the establishment. Trust Fund is an important tool for providing solutions to developing countries on the development issues that Japan focuses on. Drawing developing countries, drawing on the World Bank's expertise and local networks, while utilizing Japan's knowledge and experience. Among them, the JSDF, which are today's theme, represent a long-standing collaboration between Japan and the World Bank. JSDF uniquely positions itself as a facility that aims at promoting community-driven approach to achieve development and reduce poverty. We expect that JSDF can enhance its presence to societies in developing countries, which are becoming more complex. Today's presentation is about livelihoods for youth community support project. This kind of project is helping the community engagement approach and community development. We hope all of you share the importance of these kinds of projects and understand more about the JSDF. I hope you all of you enjoy today's presentation and have fruitful and productive discussion today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Yamamoto-san, for your opening remarks. Following Maitreyi's suggestion by taking advantage of the presence of the World Bank team visiting Tokyo, I would like to ask, perhaps starting with Bryce, to very briefly introduce yourself to the audience. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My name is Brice Canel. I am the manager for Trust Fund Policy and Partner Relations in DFI, working with Maitreyi in Washington.
Hello, I'm Dane Jameson, and I manage the Quality Infrastructure Investment Partnership, which is a partnership between Japan and the World Bank, promoting the principles of quality infrastructure investment. Thank you.
I'm Imad Fakhouri. I'm the Global Director for the Infrastructure Finance, PPPs, and Guarantees Global Practice at the World Bank.
Good afternoon, good evening. My name is Yolanda Azarcon. I'm the Program Manager for the Japan Social Development Fund.
Great, thank you. And then virtually, we have more than 30 people joining today. I understand you are either from the civil society organizations, university, private sector, or you're a student, but really welcome your participation to the discussion today. はい、ではここから徐々に、セミナーの中身に、深く入っていきたいと思います。でまず最初に、世界銀行の、キルギスリパブリックを担当する、カントリーマネージャー、現地の事務所のトップですけれど、の、ナディード・ハッサン、ナクビのですね、オープニングのそのキルギスタンのコンテクストも含めて、説明をしてもらうビデオメッセージがありますので、それを見たいと思います。村上さん、お願いします。
Thank you for this invitation to participate in this very important event. I'm delighted that we, together with the AKF and the government of Japan, have been supporting Livelihoods for Youth initiative as part of our CASA 1000 project. In 3 of the poorest oblasts in the country, in Osh, in Jalalabad, and Batken, these initiatives have helped young entrepreneurs start businesses and create opportunities in their communities. I have had the pleasure of seeing the results of these initiatives in the forum that was organized in November of 2022, and I'm delighted that we've built on that since then. These are initiatives that help the bravest and the most willing amongst the youth in the communities to develop businesses which benefit them, which benefit their communities. I think the idea is one that creates opportunities not just for the individuals who are participating, but also for their friends and family and other community members who see the successes that they have created from their own initiatives. We are happy to have supported this together with our partners, the government of Japan, in particular, also the AKF, and I look forward to seeing these businesses and the young entrepreneurs that created them grow and prosper. Thank you very much.
はい、ありがとうございます。ナビート・ハッサン・ナクビ世界銀行キルギス・リパブリック担当カントリーマネージャーのメッセージでした。で、さらにどんどん深く入っていきます。次は、この今日紹介する世界銀行の日本社会開発基金を受けているプロジェクトの担当のタスクティームリーダー、世界銀行ではプロジェクトの担当者のことをタスクティームリーダーと言って、これは世銀の専門の職員が必ずつくんですけれど、そのタスクティームリーダーであります、ルイーザ・ノラ上級社会開発専門官に登場してもらいたいと思います。リーザは今、バンコクに駐在をしていて、で、このキルギスタンのキルギスリパブリックのプロジェクトを担当しているということになっています。では、ルイーザからこのプロジェクトの概要、概略、全体像を話してもらいたいと思います。よろしくお願いします。
Thank you so much, Koichi. I will try to speak slowly for the interpreters. I also apologize if you hear construction. It just started half an hour ago, so it's Murphy's Law. So I became the task team leader of this project 2 years ago, and the project has been already 2 years under implementation. I'm working on the Kazakh community support programs in Kyrgyz Republic as well Tajikistan, and I used to work on the portion in Afghanistan, so it's been many years with this benefit sharing program. I am joined here by 2 colleagues from the Aga Khan Foundation who actually were implementing the program on the ground, Aida and Arslan. And once we have the Q&A time, they will be able to answer all the detailed questions. So let me start with the presentation. Sorry, we tested it just before the meeting and it worked. 1 second. Okay, I will try again. Okay, you should see it now. There's a little bit of a delay. So the Livelihoods for Youth Community Support Project started 4 years ago and has been for $2.7 million and has been implemented by the Aga Khan Foundation in Kyrgyz Republic. As Mayatre has already mentioned, it's supporting the Kazakh transmission line. So the Kazakh transmission line is a mega project at the World Bank, which is covering 4 countries, Kyrgyz Republic, Tajikistan, Afghanistan, and Pakistan. And it's basically Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan during summer are producing excess energy. And the transmission line is providing via Afghanistan to Pakistan the additional energy. And when this project was created, everyone understood that, look, this transmission line is going through so communities in 4 countries, but none of the communities are actually benefiting from it because they will not be receiving energy. And as it turned out, many of the communities along the transmission line are one of the poorest in all countries. So, you know, imagine people looking at this huge transmission line with all this energy, and yet their village has no supply of energy. So then it was designed that the scheme that all the countries need to have a benefit sharing type of support, which basically supports the communities along the transmission line. In Kyrgyz Republic, the decision was made that the communities that would be supported, they would be within 3 kilometers of the transmission line. And in addition to the livelihood support program, we also have a Kazakh community support program, which is 32 million for those communities, but it mostly focuses on social infrastructure and energy support. So this is the map of Kyrgyz Republic, and as you can see, we highlighted the villages that are supported by the livelihoods program. And the project objective was to support innovative livelihoods development and the employability of estimated 4,000 young women and men in about 41 target communities in order to improve socioeconomic opportunities and inclusion. The word about is because it took a long time to finalize the route of the transmission line. So depending, you know, on the design, which communities would be covered. And the country context is in Kyrgyz Republic. Why this project is so important? You know, in countries which don't have huge amount of money and there are many priorities, usually government chooses to support infrastructure. And it's very difficult to get support for livelihoods. And in the context of Kyrgyz Republic, the Kazakh Community Support Program for $32 million, it was negotiated that it also includes some livelihood support to communities, but the government is very much against borrowing for individuals. So they ask us that it is partnership between private sector and the government. As you can imagine, it's been very difficult to move this component. It's progressing very slowly and it's just starting this year. And it's actually building on the lessons learned from L4Y, as well using the assessments and value chain analysis that were produced by the L4Y project. And this is really important to think of the country context, why it matters so much to have this additional support. 50% of the country is youth, and 60% of the youth, they are in rural areas. The average age of the youth is 25 years old, and 35% average poverty rate and 25% unemployment in the communities that are covered by this project. Almost 22% of the youth are neither employed nor studying, have education or any opportunities. And in those communities, on average, 65% of households, they rely on remittances. So many communities actually have a member of the family working most of the time in Russia and sending the income. And as you can imagine, because of the pandemic, COVID, as well now the current war, many of those people actually have returned to Kyrgyz Republic and they are not able to continue working in Russia. And you will meet actually one of those entrepreneurs in the video that we have prepared for you to give you a taste how the project actually worked on the ground. The project had two main components, and one of them was preparing youth for the labor market. The second component was creating market opportunities for youth. I will not go through all the activities listed, but as you can imagine, this is a very robust program with many different subcomponents to every component, building on market assessments, value chain analysis. And in order to be able to implement this project, we have prepared a very detailed operations manual, which actually specify the sequencing of activities, how they need to be organized, and what needs to be happen. And in the first component, just to explain it in a very simple way, was that it was a lot of people actually lack basic training and are not prepared for the market to participate. They have zero experience. So the major type of support that was received was a lot of training, as well very big internship program where we had to work with the private sector and small businesses to create opportunities for the people to gain experience, as well to practice their skills. There was also a subcomponent on ICT and e-services where actually people were trained in various disciplines as well using ICT. And this component actually was very important during COVID time, because as you can imagine, it was not easy to implement during COVID a lot of the face-to-face interactions and different trainings. The second component really focused on supporting communities and the young people in the communities to create businesses, to advance their models, to start productions. And for me, it's been very interesting when I went to several communities and I met the people. So let me just give you a very simple example that we went to a community and the community told us that they have a lot of sheep, but they are throwing away the wool. And the wool was just wasted, was polluting the environment. But thanks to the L4Y program, they realized that actually they can use this wool. So they apply for support in training, as well grants to buy equipment to wash the wool and to process it. And then they started production. So it's really amazing because this component provided technical support, how to create businesses, train the people how to run the businesses, and provided them with grants in order to buy needed equipment. The second part of the component, that to be, it supported development of e-enterprises and enterprise capacity. And it was working with businesses through business acceleration model. And it's very interesting because it was not really done before in Kyrgyz Republic, and AKF found a great partner who helped them develop this program. So what happened during the project overall? We had market assessment and value chain analysis, and we narrowed it down to 6 value chains. Basically, we looked at which value chains are across all the communities so they can benefit of all of them. And as you can see, there is apricot production, raspberry, handicrafts, honey, rice, and apples. And it's amazing because there is abundance of products, but many times they are wasted or are sold at very low prices because they are not processed, nothing is developed. And again, you will meet one of the rice producers, a young woman who started a business and was able to expand her production. Then 30 common interest groups were established, which were groups in the communities comprised of young people. And a big success of this program has been the fact that 60% were women. If you think of Kyrgyz Republic, unfortunately, social norms still prevail, and many women don't participate in the activities, or especially in labor force participation. They are not present in the market. So it was very important to enable them to participate and organize this environment that would actually not only bring young men to the discussions and the groups, but also women. 63 sub-grants were provided for enterprise development. 8 leading firms and 26 firms were provided with business acceleration services. So basically, they had this technical support, how to expand their businesses and what technologies to use. 21 value chain companies received sub-grants. So I gave you the example of the wool processing community. 27 firms had pro-youth business acceleration services, and 19 companies received ICT sub-grants. So basically, those sub-grants were focused on providing technologies. Lastly, 20 startups were provided with grants after training. So the best grantees were selected and we enabled them to start businesses. Overall, almost 1,300 women participated in vocational training and IT courses, and 575 youth participated in entrepreneurship courses. So as you can see, this program focuses on technical support as well, providing them with the know-how technology as well equipment. And it's very interesting because our partner organization made sure that they actually link with Japanese community. So they were frequently in touch with the Japanese embassy in Bishkek, as well collaborated with the famous Japanese JICA-funded project, One Village, One Product. And it's amazing. You go across Kyrgyz Republic and you see all those products that were produced thanks to JICA. And basically, AKF has teamed up with this project to provide training to the groups, as well to help them promote their products and design new innovative products. And my colleagues from AKF will be able to elaborate more on this amazing partnership. So what were the key project achievements? We had 19 ICT and soft skills courses developed and approved by the Ministry of Education and Science of Kyrgyz Republic. And this is really important because when you have a project you invest, you don't want to close the project. And then those courses are lost within the project. By having this collaboration with the Ministry of Education, we ensure that there is an uptake and continuation of the use of those courses, and they are now delivered in collaboration with the TVET centers. And the teachers in those centers have been trained how to deliver this curricula. So this work again continues. 3,510 youth attended all the TVET, ICT, agriculture, and product processing trainings. So as you can see, this is a big number of people given again the COVID times. People were also provided with opportunities to gain employment skills. And the way it was done, that AKF created coalition of employers. It is not normal for the private firms to offer internships and support young people and support businesses. So basically, AKF knocked on the door of different companies and firms and created this coalition of employers, which was composed of 21 private entrepreneurs. And then we already mentioned that the self-groups have been, the common interest groups have been created. So we've done at the end of the project an end-line evaluation. We also had a midterm evaluation. And earlier with the midterm evaluation, we realized that because of COVID and many challenges with implementing this project, we needed to simplify things. And this is the key. JSDF funds allow us for much more flexibility, not only in piloting and doing things that maybe the governments wouldn't borrow, but also that allow us to quickly adapt to the situation. And given the slow progress of the first 2 years of the project, because of the simplification and restructuring, we were able to achieve really amazing results in short time. And the end-line evaluation was actually managed by Aida from AKF, who is also connected on this call. And it showed that there was more than 90% increase in income of the course participants, that they were able to gain skills and then increase the income in their job, get better jobs, or join new jobs. Notably, more than a 350 increase in income of young women who participated in the ICT training. And again, this is amazing because, as we know, globally, women usually earn much less money than men, and the rates are very low. So thanks to this support, enabling them, they were able to increase their income. More than 90% increase in the revenue of supported enterprises has been reported, and this is really remarkable. Again, after visiting some of the businesses, you can see that this happened. You will hear from this young man, entrepreneur in Kyrgyz Republic, who upon completion of the training and receiving a grant, he started a company, a big now building company that employs 25 people. 80% of the project beneficiary reported enhanced access to innovative livelihoods and components. And then overall, there was a 5% decrease in unemployment among the project beneficiaries. And here I need to make a note that it's very difficult to collect this information because people, for example, don't report employment as seasonal jobs or jobs that are not in formal economy. So then they might be actually temporarily working or having some small businesses, but if they are not part of the formal economy, they are not reporting. So so this is not just it. So besides all the objectives that were met and documented through the end-life evaluation, we also recognize additional benefits of this amazing program. The community engagement approach contributed to enhanced participatory of the communities. And again, this is highly centralized country, so people are not used to in the villages to participate, make decisions, and be provided with many government services and support. So basically, the organization had to, and there were some additional programs, build their capacity to participate, to select the projects, for women to speak up. And again, with the women participation, as you can see, it influenced the voice and agency of women, especially young women in the southern provinces. And again, if you go to those communities, women are not active. Usually men are the decision makers at the village level, and through the other project, Kazakh Community Support, we mandated that there must be 50% participation of women. And this is really difficult for young women because the minute the women turn 18 and leave the school, usually they are married young and have children and are not allowed to, to work or continue their education. So again, the project worked really hard, and we were pushing them on strategies to engage those young women. And one of the changes that we made to the program, that we provided daycare. Whenever there was a training or meetings on site, there was someone to actually take care of the children, so women were free to participate. And lastly, the project introduced a lot of innovative learning approaches that are now accepted by the TVET centers and a lot of different entrepreneurial support programs. So this is not it for us. We actually want to build on the results of this program. So there was another project on forestry that was prepared by the bank this year, and it wanted to have a livelihood component, actually building on L4Y of $5 million. But unfortunately, the government stopped it because they really don't want to borrow from the bank for livelihood support to individuals. However, we are very hopeful because we have a new project coming up, a national community-driven development project in Kyrgyz Republic that will be under preparation. And again, we are pushing the government to have a livelihood support program, and will be building on the benefits of L4Y. So let me stop at that, and I would request my colleague to show you two videos. They are very short, just 2 minutes, which really give you the flavor, how people benefited, what it meant to them, and what are the results. So Koichi, back to you in Tokyo.
ありがとうございます。ルイーザ・ノラ上級社会開発専門官からプロジェクトの概要について説明してもらいました。で、今、紹介になった通り、ビデオが2本あるということで、プロジェクトに関係するビデオを2本お見せします。で、このビデオは、英語の字幕がついてるんですが、大変申し訳ありません。今日はそれを日本語に、同時通訳ではいたしませんので、そのままご覧いただければと思います。村上さん、1本目のビデオお願いします。
Менин атым Симбаз Меңдайым, жашым 21. Азыркы учурда жеке мындайча айтканда башталгыч бизнесменмин. Менин продукциям бул өзгөн күрүчтөн жасалган райский кукис деп аталат, инновация продукция. Бул күрүчтөн жасалган печеньялар. Скраб плюс чайларды да жасап жатабыз. Бул эмне үчүн аны биз жасадык? Анткени бунун составында бир канча түрдүү 12 түрдүү витамин бар. Бул башкалардан айырмаланып без глютен. Андан тышкары биздики таза экологиялык продукция менен айырмаланып турат. Азыркы учурда менин ишкерлеримде 2 гана кыз иштейт. Алардын булар менин жакындарым, сестренкам жана менин апам. Алар мага ар дайым жардам беришет. Мындайча айтканда алар мага жардам бергенден соң кайра мен аларга зарплата кылып акча чыгарып берем. Биздин продукцияны даже Голландияга чейин сайтка чыккан учурларыбыз болду. Биз бул продукцияларды Instagram'дан, Telegram'дан жана WhatsApp'тан сатып алабыз. Биздин продукцияларды Бишкек шаарынан, бизнес центринен дагы сатып алсаңыздар болот. Бул продукциянын баштаганга чейинки идея бул ар 2 жыл долбоору аркылуу окуу натыйжасына мага келди. Мындайча айтканда касса 1000 долбоору аркылуу. Биз касса 1000 долбоору аркылуу окууга жана бир канча ийгиликке жетише алдык. Если касса 1000 долбоору болбогондо, мындайча айтканда мен өзүмдүн жеке продукциямды жана бизнесимди түптөй алмак эмесмин.
Эми кызым кичинесинде аракеттүү эле. Жакшы окуу, жакшы тарбия алды. Кудайга шүгүр, жакшы тарбия алды, айтканыбызды кылды, жакшы окуду. Турмуш дәрежесинде ham жакшы өзүн жакшы кылат эле, биз кылган ишти сөзсүз кылып кетет эле. Айтпастан эле. Ошол эле шамдаган.
Печеньемен бизнести баштайм деген максаттары бар. Бизнести баштап атат. Өзүм жакшы көрөм кызымды. Сыймыктанамын. Мүмкүнчүлүгү чексиз да, бирок өзү кызы менен сыймыктанабыз да. Кызым бизге келсе дагы күлүп жайнап, ар бир нерсени мен ушундаймын дебестен, ар бир нерсеге аракетини менен бизге көңүл көтөрөт. Ушундай кыз да бул.
Негизи келечекте койгон максаттарыбыз көп. Биз 5 жылдын ичинде дагы да жогорку аренага чыгуу максатыбыз бар. Бир гана Кыргызстанга гана тарабастан бүткүл дүйнө жүзүнө продукциябызды таанытуу. Бул биздин негизги максатыбыз. Жана бир канча жумушсуздуктарды жоюу максатында кыз келиндерди, жаштарды жумуш менен камсыздоо. Бул биздин негизги максаттарыбыздын планына кирет.
Мен Ош областынан болом. Жашым 29-да. Үй бөлүмүн 2 баланын атасымын. Мен буга чейин Россия жергесинде мигрант болуп иштеп жүргөм. 5-6 жылдай ушул строитель тармагында иштеп жүрүп, өзүм мекениме кайтканымда келгенимде ушул өзүбүздүн айылда чоң бир проект болуп жаткан экен. Аларды каржылап жаткан дүйнөлүк банк экен. Алар негизги максаты ошол долбоордун негизиндеги, долбоордун алкагындагы айылдын жаштарыны колдоо экен максаты. Алар ушул айылдагы эле жергиликтүү айылдагы жаштарды окутуу боюнча бизге айылга келип айткандан кийин ал ушул долбоорго кызыгып, ошолордун окуусуга барып катыштым. Бизде андай жеке ишкердүүлүккө үйрөттү. Ошол эле учурдан бизге алар стажировкага чыгууга бизге бир чоң бир мүмкүнчүлүк берди. Ошол убактан мен дагы ушул строительство боюнча бир стажировкага чыгып көрөйүн деп чечип, келип иштедим. Келип көрсөм, ошол жерде иштеп жаткан бир бригадага келип кошулдум. Ошол убакта ошолор менен иштеп жүргөндөн өзүмө ой келди да. Неге ушулар иштеп аткан бригаданы мен дагы өзүм создать этип, өзүмчө бир иш баштаганга менде мүмкүнчүлүк жок деген ой келип, өзүм өзүнчө бир бригада түзүп, жеке ишимди баштоого мен бел байлап, ошол айылдан эле өзүмө Россияга барып эмгектенип, ушул эле тармакта иштеп жүргөн жаштар бар эле. Мен эң эле биринчи барып ошолорго сунушту айттым. Эң эле башында бир кичине гана бир 5-6 адамдык бир объект алып, эң алгачкы ишибизди ошол жерде баштадык десем адашпайм. Айылда жумушчу жүргөн балдар бизди көрүп, иштеп атсыңар, келгиле биз дагы иштейли деп, наоборот бизге адамдар өздөрү тартылып, командабыз барган сайын чоңоюп, бригадабыз азыркы учурда 20-25 адамга жетип отурат. Бир чоң объект алып отурабыз азыр. Бул жерде азыркы учурда 20 бала иштейт. Ушу Касамин долбоорунун негизинде ошол өзүнчө бир жеке ишкер же бригадир болушума түздөн түз бул түрткү берген ушул Агахан же болбосо мына Дүйнөлүк банк болду бизге. Алар мага кандай иш башташты, кандай кылып адам менен кантип команда менен иштегенди алар мага үйрөтүп алды. Ошонун негизинде азыркы учурда бригадир болуп, өзүнчө бир жеке ишкер болуп отурам десем адашпайм.
はい、ありがとうございます。ビデオを2本、見ていただきました。Luisa, if you have any additional remarks, comments after we show the video to the audience, if you have any additional comments, please take the floor.
Yeah, I would just say that the video of the woman that you saw is really remarkable. She's just 22 years old. She's disabled. And when we met her, she told us, I'm one of the 7 kids, but I'm disabled. I realized that my parents are old. When I die, no one will support me. I will never get a job in Kyrgyz Republic. So thanks to this training, ideas, and grant, she was able to start the business. And at the time we made the video last year, she was employing 2 people. Now she's employing 3. She expanded her production to 7 products, including cookies and facial scrub. And again, you know, she's blooming and has many more ideas. So I think, you know, having this individual support to communities that are really vulnerable, that are underserved and in rural areas is key. So we are very thankful for this JSDF fund.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Before opening up the floor for the discussion and the question, as we have the honor to have representatives both from the World Bank side and also the government of Japan side, basically directly involved in preparation and administration of this JSDF program. I'm now looking at Maitre, if you have any direct comment, response, any views that you just saw, the project that your team is administrating, please.
Thank you so much. It was a very inspiring presentation, Luisa, and very inspiring videos in particular. I think this is what makes JSDF such a unique program. And we're really looking forward to having more of an engagement with teams that are willing to do this kind of innovative work. But also, Luisa, I took note of the fact that there were certain components that were difficult to implement. And so this is not to take away from the fact that it is a challenging environment to implement some of these projects. So kudos to you and your team.
はい、ありがとうございます。山本さん、予定になくかつ打ち合わせはしてないんですけれども、今まさに拠出していただいている JSDF がサポートしたプロジェクトの実例を間近に、ビデオも含めて見ていただいたわけですが、率直なご感想をもしあればお願いします。
これ何語でもいいですか？で、OK, I will speak in Japanese. 実はですね、私も今、この財務省で働く前は、民間企業で働いてましたし、私の家族、親も、それから祖父もですね、もともと起業家でして、会社をゼロから立ち上げて運営してきたという経緯があります。なので、しかも田舎で会社を立ち上げたという経緯があるので、こういった形でですね、ローカルにいる人たちが、会社を立ち上げていくということを、国とか、それから世銀がですね、支援しているということが、非常に個人的にも 刺さるものがあってですね、感じるところがあって、こういった実例をどんどん増やしていきたいなというのを、強く感じた次第です。すみません。
はい、ありがとうございました。では、順番に、質問、コメントがあれば、皆さんに伺っていきたいと思いますが、まず、東京の会場に、今いらっしゃる方で何か質問、コメントがあれば、はい、どうぞ。マイクをオンにしていただいてお願いいたします。
もしもし、大丈夫ですか？
大丈夫です。
はい、トランスジェンダー男性の、旅のキリトと申します。ちょっととても素敵なプロジェクトで、マイノリティの立場である女性が、起業っていうことで、救われるっていうのは本当に大切なことだと思ったんですが、ただ、ちょっと貧困率の中にも、ちょっとなんかこのサービスに関して、ちょっと自分の紹介をちょっとだけ入れると、自分はその社会から取り残された障害者やセクシャルマイノリティを、直接テクノロジストなどとつなげて、実際に、社会にこうつながっていけるようにするような取り組みとかを、支援したりしているんですが、ちょっと貧困率は障害者やセクシャルマイノリティだと極めて高くなり、暴力を受ける率も数倍になったりして、自分自身全く学校に行けなかったりとか、普通の一般就業ができなかったりした中で、本当に企業支援っていうのにものすごく救われたっていうところがあるので、本当にこの取り組みは素晴らしいと思うんですが、ちょっと男の人と女の人は関わっているって言われていたんですが、そのセクシャルマイノリティは人口の 7% とか日本では言われていますが、ちょっと自分自身アフガニスタンなどの取り組みもしようとしていて、そちらの状況の文化的な厳しさとかも想像はするんですが、ちょっとそのセクシャルマイノリティはどのくらいこのサービスにリーチできるのかとか、障害者の人がどのくらい使えているのかっていうのがちょっと気になりました。
はい、ありがとうございます。Lisa, would you be able to make a comment on the question that was raised right now?
Yeah, so thank you. I understand the hardship, and this is, why those small programs, we are really able to work at the community level, and the way the overall support works is that when people volunteer to participate in those businesses, we try to select the poorest of the community who really, really need help. So this is how, the selection happens. And then Aida will be able to complement more how they were able to reach people like Maideen, whom you saw on the video. And about, the sexual minorities, we have colleague at the World Bank who is working and supporting development of the strategies and has been working with the World Bank office. I understand that there is also a brand new discriminatory law coming up, and this just came up a couple of days ago. So it's a big topic, and the World Bank is taking it very seriously. But it is covered by another colleague of mine. Aida, do you have anything to add on the selection process?
Thank you so much, Lisa, and thank you, colleagues, for the questions. Yeah, it's actually, of course, the project was successful in terms of mobilization activities, but we should also say that we faced challenges because we were not working. We were working at the areas, the rural areas, and some of them were a bit remote, and it was not easy to work with that group of the population in terms of many factors, including the access to the key resources and economic development and education resources. So that is why it was not easy. I think one of the key challenges that we faced is among list of other challenges is that the ability of our project participants, to trust in themselves, like to believe that those kind of projects really work. And that was not an easy job from the perspective of our team, project and organization team members. First of all, to make sure that our participants should just start to believe that those kind of small projects, small sub-grants could work. And if you learn a little bit, if you capacitate yourself in your hard skills as well as soft skills, that would be that would change your life and the quality of life in general. You know, as an AKF within the organization, one of the key roles and one of the key purposes that we set for ourselves in terms of working with our beneficiaries is definitely the increasing of quality of life in many areas of our beneficiaries. And this is the first and foremost thing that we should do while working and mobilizing the community participants. Probably this one was not an easy job, but I believe we succeed. And along with that, we of course had many micro or external factors that were beyond of the project's control, such as like COVID, some problems that we faced at that moment within the country that were out of the context of the project. So, but we try to address those challenges on time due to through changing the design of the project or the implementation plan. And well, at the end, we now have around 4,000 participants of the project whom I think we really succeed to be able to engage in our project and to change the quality of life. And I'll be happy to share more details in terms of the mobilization if you have like specific technical details.
Thank you. Aida, you just appeared on the screen for the first time, so would you please be able to very briefly introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. I do apologize for these technical issues that I faced, unfortunately, yes. My name is Aida Bolotbekova. I am the Monitoring, Evaluation, Research and Learning Manager at AKF Kyrgyzstan. I was happy to be part of the Livelihood for Youth project that was implemented in Kyrgyzstan, and that we are now continue to track to be able to see the longer term impact of the projects. And thank you so much for the invitation to this presentation, and I'll try to address all the questions that you have within this session. Thank you.
Thank you, Aida. Aida from the Aga Khan Foundation, the implementing agency. Thank you. Okay, I'd like to invite anyone who are connected virtually and having a courage to push your button and the microphone unmuted and then speak up to raise the questions. Please go ahead if you have any questions. もし、まず直接バーチャルで参加されている方で、直接話したい方、質問をおっしゃりたい方いらっしゃれば、どうぞ、お話しください。マイクをオンにしてお話しください。いかがでしょうか。田部井さん、手を挙げていただいてありがとうございます。どうぞ、お話しください。
はい、ありがとうございます。これはカメラもオンにした方がよろしいですか？
結構です。
すぐオンにならなくてちょっとすいません、マイクで失礼します。発表ありがとうございます。私、Save the Children Japan の田部井と申します。1点ご質問がありまして、ご発表の中で、最後のAdditional Benefits っていうところで出ていた Innovative Learning Approaches っていうところがもう少しだけ聞かせていただきたいなと思いまして、発表の中でところどころここがイノベーティブなんですよっていったところをお伝えいただいていたと思うんですが、改めてこの事業の中でイノベーティブだったと思われるアプローチについて改めてお伺いできるとありがたいです。お願いいたします。
はい、ありがとうございます。Lisa, the question on the innovative approach.
Okay, so I actually would like to invite Aida and Arslan because, you know, there were a lot of changes that we had to do to adjust the approaches, and they've done an amazing job. They need to also elaborate on the companies that they collaborated to create it. So Arslan or Aida, over to you.
Aida, you want to start first?
It's okay. You could go ahead and I'll jump in. Yeah. Thank you, Arslan.
Thanks. Hi, everybody. My name is Arslan. So I was managing a team who actually directly implemented the L4Y project on the ground. And thanks for the question. I think I will mention about the development of the modular teaching methodologies, which was introduced in the public, state-owned technical and vocational training centers, and also private training centers. So the key concept is here that instead of like for young people were not willing to go through the TVET courses because they are long in terms of the time, right? In terms of the duration. So we introduced the modular methodology, which decreased almost by half. So like 6 months training courses were decreased up to from 1 to 3 months training courses. Which also keep the key sense of like providing the practical knowledge of the thematic area that young people were interested to study, right? So with that, we were able to manage recruitment of enrollment of young people in the TVET courses. So the courses were around, for instance, ICT related courses, or like welding, or you know, other like professional courses, provided. Thank you.
Very much. Aida-san, you would like to come in?
Yeah, probably. I think the Arslan covered mostly about the approach that we followed while delivering the TVET activities. One of the key points that I would like to add is that it was not just the project, like in general, was not focused around training and learning opportunities only, which is, it goes without saying, it's extremely important. At the same time, we also provided our project beneficiaries to be able to connect with the market. So as part of the initiative that we made, and I believe it was one of the innovation approaches, that immediately after the trainings, the participants, the specific amount of our project participants, like the most successful ones, were able to get a job. First of all, we're able to get an internship, and then as a result of the internship, got a job in the companies. And we can really be proud of that, the fact that that was the impact of our project. Thank you for the question.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much for your responses. Thank you. Felix, I was notified that you raised your hands, but also I saw you posted your questions too. So you're very active. So we are so eager to hear from you. Felix, please come in.
Thank you. I'm Felix. Currently, I'm a student here in Japan, a JICA scholarship in the graduate school. And my question is to know if there is the same initiative maybe going in the African continent, especially in the French-speaking country in the Gulf of Guinea. And I'm very impressed by the 4,000 people that get touched by this initiative. So I want to congratulate the team for this work. And this is my question, if there is like a related initiative also in the African continent. Thank you.
Very much. Luisa, as a special, as a social development specialist from the social development GP, any comment on this point? Or actually, you are extraordinarily unique, only existing in Kyrgyzstan, please.
No, so I mean, there's a lot of innovation at the World Bank, and we are sharing the experiences between the different regions. I'm not able to tell you what specifically the projects are happening in the Francophone Africa, but there is also, amazing programs on livelihoods. I think that, this is really recognized that this is very much needed. And maybe, I'm not sure if Lani knows if there are any JSDF similar programs that I can't answer. All I just would like to add is to the last question about innovation, that there were just two more innovations, that one of them was the coalition of employers, and it's really, bringing all those businesses together. And the second thing that AKF also organized were like job fairs, and this doesn't happen normally. So again, they brought new approaches, and, you might find them that this is something that happens frequently in Japan or in America, but those things are actually not happening in Kyrgyz Republic. Back to you, Koichi.
Lani, please come in as administrator of the JSDF. Thank you.
No, thank you for the question. Actually, almost just by coincidence, we just returned from a mission to Middle East and North Africa, and there is an interesting project in Jordan, for instance, that covers employment and business opportunities for youth to allow them to participate in the tourism industry. The Jordan economy is very much reliant on tourism, and the youth, there are very high levels of unemployment among the youth. So the JSDF grant there provides training as well as sub-grants similar to this design. But I think the unique twist there is that they've linked it to the local context, which is there are opportunities in tourism, but also the project doesn't focus on where the major tourist attractions are, which is in Amman, or in Petra, for instance. These are in the secondary cities, the more remote areas. So by providing training on digital skills and other livelihood opportunities, they would like to include this secondary tourism sites so that the youth there can also gain jobs and business opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you, Lani. Actually, Lani and I were talking informally that not only increasing the frequency of the JSDF seminar like this, but we are thinking about featuring the projects that you just mentioned in Jordan for the next seminar. So please, everyone, stay tuned. We may also introduce that project in our seminar program. Okay, I have one more question posted during the presentation. SO-san, if you would want to speak up directly, please come in. If not,
Sure.
I would be happy to.
Can you hear me? I'm Satoko. I'm joining from Osaka in Japan, and thank you for the opportunity. I'm a consultant for international organization. And my question that I posted was a very specific question. Out of all the businesses and startups that this project funded, what is the percentage of those remaining active? And the reason why I asked this question is I myself run a project to start social business within the project that I faced, experienced the difficulty of running a business, or starting a business, and sustaining. It's not really easy. And when you get external funding, you get excited, then you just start, and then you just hire people. You can do that for a couple of years, but after a while, I think that actually the relevant business skills and business acumen is required. So my question is, make it more comprehensive. A question is that what are your strategies about supporting those companies in a more long term? It was mentioned by one of the Aga Khan Foundation's colleagues, but including this specific question, the percentage of business that are active after being funded, can you give us a little bit more detail about this project is a strategy for sustainability and keep helping to stay profitable and making their livelihood. So that was my question. Thank you.
So before Aida goes, I just want to clarify that the project is actually closing on well, it closed in December, so it's just recently closed. So there are not so many opportunities yet to track how the businesses are doing. And there was a lot of support with the business plans and technical advice, but I'll let Aida step in and explain it and explain also the monitoring that she's doing. Aida, over to you.
Thank you so much for a very good question. Well, first of all, I should say that as an organization, we do have a strategy and institution-based goals, which are not limited, to the implementation of the one project and of course, one of our key goals as an organization is, sustaining all the development goals that we are doing within the projects and sustaining after the project and then in a longer period. You're quite right, and the reality is the same in our country. It's not really easy job to sustain startup projects. This is where we are aiming to put our efforts. Well, first of all, within our organizational programs, when we meet and we work with the same beneficiaries as part of other projects or as part of cross-cutting programs, and we are always challenging ourselves. I'm saying challenging as you're right, as I said, that the work with the startups in general is not an easy job, but this is something that we are challenging ourselves as an organization. And as part of our program level activities, we will be reaching those project participants. And this is not something that we close within the official closure of any project. So we do have the programmatic level goals as an organization. From the perspective of the sectors, I guess it's important to mention that the sectors that those sub-grantees were awarded as part of this livelihood for use project are important, and they are mostly around the ICT sector, agriculture, and food sector, which are in our country are already demanded or rapidly growing. And this factor and the country context, as well as the regional context, I mean, Central Asian context, would allow us, to be positive and to be optimistic in terms of sustaining those project and business initiatives. I know that these are very probably like a general view of what should happen with those projects, but this is our view in terms of the institution. But at the same time, in terms of immediate steps, we do have the cross-cutting programs, and we will be. And then as Louisa mentioned, the project has just finished. Like it's more or less not that a longer term to measure the impact of the project, but as an organization, we do have an aim to measure the activities of the project in the longer term, of course. But in a more specific ways and in a more practical way, or in a more immediate steps, we have our programmatic goals and specific locations that covers the livelihood for use project locations as well, where we will be working with at least some of the beneficiaries. But I'll be honest, of course, the reality is that probably it would be not an easy job to sustain all the 100% of the startups that we are working as an organization, not only with the project, but with other projects. But we are aiming at sustaining at least most of them. So unfortunately, I do not have like a very clear and answers in terms of what measures were made after the project, as mostly all the measures were addressed within the duration, the official or the formal duration of the project, and we did a lot for that. But I believe I will be able, I'll be in a better position to be able to provide you more evidence after some time of the project. But meanwhile, these are our programmatic and cross-cutting goals. I hope
if I could add is that you heard from the AKF perspective, from the World Bank perspective, this is not over for us because we are still present in those communities. Right. We have the 32 million Kazakh community support program exactly covering those communities. And there is this very complicated livelihoods component that's between, the government and private sector and communities. And there is continuous support in terms of capacity building as well grants. And the beneficiaries from L4Y have been reached and are encouraged, to participate in this 2-year, it's 2 years left of this program. So there will be continuous support. And, we already heard that there is some of the L4Y beneficiaries that are interested to expand the businesses. But as you say, this is natural that some businesses will shut down, won't survive. And, that's anticipated. Back to you in Tokyo.
Yeah, unfortunately. Just one more quick note to add, if I may. I'm sorry, just as part of the programmatic level, we do have initiatives in terms of enhancing the market linkages for the enterprises or the small entrepreneurs that we work with. And I believe one of those initiatives would help to the participants of this specific project as well. Thank you. Thank you for your question. I hope I addressed it.
はい、ありがとうございます。他に今、オンラインでつながっている方でご質問、コメントがある方いらっしゃれば、日本語でそのまま喋っていただいて結構ですので、何かあればどうぞビデオをオンにしてお話しください。いかがでしょうか。ハンガーフリーワールドの山崎さん、手を挙げていただいてますかね。どうぞ。
ありがとうございます。日本語で発言させていただきます。ハンガーフリーワールドという NGO の山崎と申します。若い女性のエンパワーメントの実例を聞かせていただきまして、今日は本当にありがとうございました。1点質問があります。キルギスに限らずですね、文化的に女性に制約が多いという社会が世界中にあるかと思います。で、このプロジェクトはそういう傾向が強い社会で行われたということなのですが、コミュニティの男性がですね、このプロジェクトをどういうふうに評価しているのかと。特に結婚している女性が参加している場合だと、その配偶者の方がですね、どのようにプロジェクトを評価していますでしょうか。例えば、先ほどもトレーニングについてご説明いただきましたが、トレーニングに参加するとですね、家事をする時間がなくなるというようなですね、ことを言う、配偶者もいたりするんじゃないかと思います。協力的であったかどうかですとか、あるいは協力してもらうために、何らかの工夫があったかどうかといったようなこと、もし分かっていることがありましたら、教えてください。
or Aida or Ashlan, please come in to make a comment on the question just raised. Thank you.
Thank you. So no, you raised a very important question, and gender inequalities on our mind across all the World Bank projects. So I just need to remind you that this project is also in the context of the larger Kazakh community support program, which in parallel has been doing social mobilization approaches in order women to participate in those communities. So as I mentioned, that they were creating committees within those communities, and the requirement was 50% participation. But you can't just set a quota, right, for people to participate when the gender norms are prevailing. So the way it was done, that there was a capacity building of women, how to speak up, how to do project planning, how to do monitoring. And when they build the confidence, and this is the confidence that Aida mentioned earlier in the context, of being entrepreneur, they started participating in the community activities. So when L4Y, there was already base that we have built. One of the lessons that's coming from the project is that, we were targeting young people, and a lot of people, as I mentioned, they were in their 20s, but the challenge is that the women, this is the time they are actually expected to be at home with their children. So perhaps, the project should have target women in their 30s who have older children. And it's not only just social norms, lack of childcare and kindergartens is a huge issue. And the families are increasing. It's really a lot of kids now per family. So it's a big challenge. And the project, because people started seeing women participate in the overall community meetings that were deciding on the big infrastructure projects, they are more willing then, to open up for women to participate in the entrepreneurship programs. But again, this is a major challenge, because when we look at the different surveys, men still believe that women should be at home. But again, the program managed. So Aida can explain the more L4Y approaches itself that were used, but just think about it, the context that those communities have been already capacitated because of the other bigger program. Aida, over to you.
Thank you, Luisa. Before I'll try to answer the question. Aslan, would you like to respond, or would you like me to continue? Just if you have something.
Yeah, I think Luis already mentioned it during the presentation, but establishing a conducive environment for young women to participate, one of our approaches, so that we eliminate negative messages from the family, right? So we created some safe spaces for kids and for women to come in and enjoy time while participating. But also very important part is that we assuming that especially young women participants may feel a pressure from their families. We had a very, very strong information campaigns about what actually project is aiming, right? I mean, in terms of building the capacities, supporting the private businesses, and broadly when it comes to the overall community support program, what other benefits and opportunities available. So doing the information campaign, using the social media, and also local networks like WhatsApp groups, we were keeping ourselves very much transparent in terms of what is happening and what will happen under this project. So yeah, please, Aida, continue.
Thank you, Arslan. So the information campaigns were extremely important, as Arslan mentioned, and I would like to point out one of the key, the content of those information campaigns, that the key thing that we tried to and we were able to address within the communities that we worked is that the message was that this is a benefit for the whole family, not just like personal goals for women participants of the project. And I guess this was one of the reasons why the mobilization was successful among women, as we are a bit of overachieved the target of engaging young women in the participation of the project. But it was, again, it's not about the quota, as Luisa mentioned, but still, this is one of the reasons why the mobilization was made among women participants. And it's not only about their participation or the quantity of the women beneficiaries of the project. We also, we were able, apart from the, we used a mixed method approach in the assessment of the project activities within the project, in the due course of the project, as well as after the project, as part of the endline assessment of the project. So we've realized and we've noticed an interesting fact that the confidence, I keep talking about this because for many women beneficiaries, one of the key feedback is the confidence that the project gave them. But it's been, it was growing like from the beginning of the project, then until the midterm and the end of the project, when they were able to achieve the results that they set for themselves within the participation in the project. And when they kind of they were able to show the results and their family members were able, to see those results and, to kind of realize the effect of those results for the whole family. The family members' attitude started to change towards their business or employment opportunities for young women. This was one of the important aspects that I would like to point out.
So I would like to propose this way to use our limited time in an effective manner. we received actually several questions in advance from the registered participant. So let me read two of them quickly and then ask Luisa to respond. But also I would like to ask Luisa to give us a very final closing remarks as a TTL. And I'll invite Ida and Ashran also from the implementing agency sides to make final remarks quickly. And then I would like to look at Maitre again to give us a very final closing remarks when we happily land on the time to conclude the seminar. Okay, the questions, two questions. First, what are the main differences between this project, which is funded by JSDF, and regular World Bank Rural Development, Social Development, Community Development Project? And this is a broader question, but this is the first question. And next question, how can we use lessons learned during the project implementation? I think probably, Lisa, if you can tell us any other materials, reports, videos that people can take advantage of to learn, about the project, and then we'll share links in the materials. Whatever you share later with me, I'll share with the participant by email. But with those two questions in our minds, and I would like to ask Luisa to come in to give us a very quick response and the final remarks. Thank you.
Okay, so I'll be very quick. So, there is no difference between main World Bank project. We do take our time to prepare GSDF. There is rigorous process to prepare it. There is a lot of work that's put into the studies, and GSDF colleagues are very tough on us. They are ensuring the quality design. I think the challenge is finding the implementing partner. So the difference is exactly about the implementing partner. For World Bank projects, our counterparts are the government, so we work with the ministries. And what the GSDF smaller grants projects, they allow us actually to work with civil society. And I manage other small, what we consider the small grants. And I have to say, I struggle in most of the countries because of the implementing agencies. And here we've been so lucky with AKF that they are really tune into communities, into their businesses. They have good collaboration with the government, so they help us to move the project. And in terms of implementation, we also do supervision missions, like for the large projects. We do reporting, monitoring through the World Bank system. The difference is, again, the adaptability and flexibility, that when we see that something is not working, we can quickly or quicker restructure the project. Then it comes with the big, large World Bank project. But again, you know, the JSDF projects are also provided in the context of larger World Bank operations, so the lessons learned can fit into that. And in terms of available learning, you know, you have the video stories. We will be finalizing the evaluation of the project. We have another third video coming, another results story in a couple of weeks. We have amazing materials also from AKF and flyers, and I'll be happy to share with you. Back to you, Koichi.
Great. Thank you very much. Aida-san, please come in with your final remarks. Thank you.
Of course, yeah, thank you so much. Well, first of all, thank you again for this opportunity to tell about our project, which is important for us, and which we are not stopping with at this moment, of course. We definitely faced challenges while implementing the the project, but one of the key challenges I would definitely point out the COVID relevant pandemic situation, but we were able to address those challenges. In general, I would say that the results of the project and the ability and in that the community members' intentions to the end to be engaged in this project has motivated us, and we're looking forward to working with other coming projects. But I should say that we're not stopping with working with the specific communities in our country as part of this project only, because these are one of our key areas of our organization's implementation projects and plans. And we are always in touch and with our beneficiaries, and this is one of our key purposes and the key activities of our organization is that we work in a very rural and remote areas of our country, and even though we have many challenges while implementing the projects, this is something that we really are focusing on, is that one of the strong sides of our organizations that we work in those very difficult so-called locations of the country on a daily basis. And this project, even though it is extremely important for us, but this is not the end of our mission, and we're really looking forward to continue our collaboration and to continue our activities in those areas of the country. And thank you so much for your feedback, and let us know if there is anything else we can share with you. And in fact, we have so much information and so much cases to share with you. Thank you so much.
Aslan, please come in.
Yes, thank you. I would like to appreciate this forum, that we were able to share some of the insights of the project with other participants. It's very important to link the ground realities and with the decision makers, and I think we were able to provide some sense. Aida was mentioning about challenges. It wouldn't be possible to solve the challenges without active participation of the World Bank colleagues in administrating the project. And I think Louisa herself participated in the final conference where the participants, young people, were giving a really best regards to World Bank and JSDF, that they were able to bring the opportunity for them to participate, learn, and grow. So our best regards to you as well. So yeah, thank you very much. This is it from my side.
Thank you. Maitre, please come in to close the seminar.
All right, thank you. I don't know what I can say to actually close this. First of all, I would like to thank you, Koichi, for hosting this. I know that you host several of these seminars, and it's a great way for us to engage with wider audiences in Japan, to be able to have a dialogue, and I hope that this can continue. Again, also to thank the Ministry of Finance. I mean, for you to have spent so much time, possibly you got a flavor of the kinds of impact that is possible. And we are going to be working closely with you to see how we can make this program even more accessible and even more impactful as it goes by. And Louisa, to you and to Aida and Arslan, thank you so much for joining. On a personal note, I have known Louisa for many, many years, since before she was such a seasoned TTL, and for, I don't even want to say how long, maybe 15 years. And so it's really wonderful to see you, Louisa, carrying this team and taking this work forward. I just want to end by saying that this is the kind of work where the commitment of the joint commitment of bank staff, as well as the clients, as well as the implementing agencies, really comes together, because it's not a huge sum of money. Bank projects are in hundreds of millions of dollars. These are very small grants. And yet they are very catalytic. These small grants can be very catalytic. So when somebody says that, what is 3 million or what is 4 million, it actually allows for innovation, and it allows for exactly the lessons learned. And I'm sorry I didn't catch your name, but thank you very much for bringing the issues of sexual minorities to the table. It's extremely important for the World Bank. And I would ask you to take a look at our website, which actually is a live website, and the kinds of analytical and other work that is taking place in the World Bank that addresses issues of LGBTQI people. So please do take a look at that. But other than that, just wanted to say, and as well as disability, there is a very strong disability focus in the World Bank. There are 10 commitments that the bank has made to disability inclusiveness, and our projects are required to have that as part of their as part of the design and consultation, as well as action for disability. So just wanted to say that to you, and again, thank you all very much.
ありがとうございます。はい、ではこれで今日のセミナーの終了としたいと思います。長時間にわたって活発にご参加いただきましてありがとうございました。